Malik Shabazz, let me get Malik in here. I don't personally think the government should be able to dictate what any one person uses in terms of a religious book. That would be an establishment issue, as outlined by the First Amendment, Mr. Shabazz.
If the congressman has freedom of religion and his constitutional rights, he should be able to use a book of his choice. Fact check, Presidents Pierce, Hayes, Franklin Roosevelt, and Lyndon B. Johnson used no book. And I'm sure the congressman, as all Muslims do, I didn't interrupt you.
You're right.
All Muslims respect the Bible, but he should have the opportunity. Now, your ignorance, Mr. Prater, Islam has contributed a lot to America. In the middle of the Supreme Court is, in the rotunda, is a statue or bust of the Prophet Muhammad, showing the respect that American law and jurisprudence has for the revealer of the Quran. Many of American presidents are Masons and Shriners who got to the 33rd degree and studied the Quran in secret and have the star and the crescent on their fez.
Malik,
so Islam is at the basis of Western and American civilization.
Malik, I want to ask you a question as it relates to Dennis's column. Thank you both for being here. And he says, you know, on what grounds will those of you defending this congressman's decision and his right to choose his favorite book, you know, would you allow them to choose, you know, Hitler's Mein Kampf, which is the Nazi Bible? In other words, where does this stop? Is there any limitations whatsoever? Does anybody get any choice they want, Malik?
Well, I think we're not talking about that expansive of notion here. Well, if we are, then we should use no book. Because really, let's be honest, if Foley and Tom DeLay can swear on a Bible and commit severe acts of corruption after that,
right now.
we should not mix. It is about politics. This is about swearing into Congress using a holy book. So much unrighteousness takes place after that swearing in, we should disassociate all holy books from Congress until Congress is cleaned up.
Dennis, I want to ask you specifically, you said that his doing so will embolden Islamic extremists and make new ones, and they'll see it as the first sign of realization of the greatest goal, which is the, you know, making Islam the religion of America.
Well, as I wrote, there were two words there. I wrote, rightly or wrongly, they will view it that way. Yes, that is exactly how they'll view it. They're not going to say, oh, my God, we were wrong about America. Look, in fact, it's the most tolerant and open country in the history of the world. Something that we have never created in the Islamic world for Christians is now available to Muslims in America. They will not say that. Rather, they will celebrate.
Doesn't America include many Muslims? Isn't Islam the fastest? Isn't Islam the fastest growing religion in America? Shouldn't a Muslim congressman have the right to use his holy book and freedom of religion as another would?
Doesn't a Mormon have the right? Doesn't a Mormon have the right to use the Book of Mormon?
Go right ahead.
Of course he has the right. I'm asking him not to. He will be setting a precedent.
And you're wrong.
That is destructive.
And you are being totalitarian, and you're being racist.
I am making a request, and that makes me...
And you are narrow-minded and ignorant, sir.
Hang on a second. You say the
calling of names does not reflect on me. It reflects on
you. You are not enlightened as to Islam.
I'm not. You're enlightened.
Hang on, guys.
Okay.
Dennis, let me ask you this. You said the very act undermines American civilization. I want you to explain why you wrote that, why you believe that.
Well, of course, because this civilization is dependent upon notions that derive from that book. The Liberty Bell did not take a verse from any other book than our Bible.
Sir,
we based our values on this book. The Creator
You must understand that Western civilization and values come from Islam. That Europe was in the Dark Ages until the Muslims. Europe was in the Dark Ages until the Muslims brought Europe and Western civilization out of the Dark Ages.
We thank you
owe
both
a
very
lot
much.
to Islam.
Guys, we thank you.
You owe a
Coming up
lot to
next,
Islam.